London, which shows children being pushed, pinned up against walls, or left alone sitting in their own vomit. Police investigated the abuse inside so-called calming rooms at Whitefield School in Walthamstow. It concluded without any charges. The school says its new leadership discovered the footage after the rooms had been shut down. Noel Titheridge has this report, which you might find upsetting.
It's footage that's been described as jaw-dropping. Videos obtained by the BBC show autistic pupils being abused and neglected inside so-called calming rooms at a special school. 3 years ago, we began investigating when 500 hours of CCTV was discovered at Whitefield School. Now we've obtained the footage, revealing the reality of abuse in the rooms before they were shut.
Jamie went to Whitefield School when he was 11. I have just seen the footage after all this time. You saw them open the door, push Jamie, just whack him in his back, flying on the floor. Left in there very, confused, frustrated, knowing he's going to be in there for a long time.
Deborah says her son suffered his first ever epileptic episode after being placed in the rooms.
A couple of times I had to go upstairs to the classrooms to take him out where his eyes were rolling. Now, something had stressed him out. It breaks my heart to know how he must be feeling, how he must have felt, and the effect it's had on him since.
She says she can't understand how prosecutors have failed to charge anyone over the abuse.
I just think it's a cover-up from higher up, because I don't see how they could get away with this level of abuse of these children and no one's accountable for it.
The BBC's spoken to 17 of the 39 families affected. They say they've spent years waiting to hear the reality of what their children went through.
But we can reveal that a 3-year police investigation ended this summer without a single staff member facing charges. And we've also learned of other failings across the UK. One autistic child was placed in this cage, while another pupil was pinned to a beanbag.
This MP is calling for immediate regulation.
Quite moved, actually. It's not something you expect any child to be in. This is the sort of stuff that you just couldn't imagine would be going on, at all, in any place, really. It should lead to change. There's no question about that now.
Government guidance only says that these rooms need to be used appropriately. Is that satisfactory?
No, we've got to spell it out. The range of change has to be pretty profound now. Clear rules around what cannot happen. This is not how any child in Britain should be treated.
The government says it's looking at ways to strengthen guidance on how calming rooms are used, while the local authority, Waltham Forest, says it's offered counselling to families. The Crown Prosecution Service declined to comment, while the Met says it continues to conduct wider inquiries. But parents say years have been wasted which could have been spent addressing the harm that's been caused to their children.
And Noel is with us now. Now this has come to light, is anyone likely to be held accountable?
Well, over the past 3 years, the Metropolitan Police has repeatedly taken files of evidence to the Crown Prosecution Service, but it judged that none of this footage met the threshold for child cruelty. And the Met also pursued safeguarding failings on behalf of officials, but again, there have been no charges there either. Now, in response, the Met says that it continues to conduct wider inquiries not relating to staff. The CPS themselves declined to comment, but it did say that this considers this a live investigation. Now, as for the staff members themselves, separate safeguarding investigations carried out on behalf of the school proved that 6 members of staff had abused pupils at Whitefield, but they weren't sacked and they weren't referred to the Disclosure and Barring Service. The trust which runs the school says it wasn't legally obligated to make those referrals. Now, today we've also revealed that a single teaching assistant was responsible for reviewing this footage and sharing concerns with bosses, which included a head teacher who has since died. So for the 39 families affected by abuse at Whitefield, there's no immediate prospect of any accountability.
Noel, thank you for that. And still to come on today's programme, a 50-year-old crime finally solved. We look back at the mysterious case of the missing gnomes that were held to ransom on Merseyside. Before that, it's time to join our colleagues for the news where you are.
Thank you, Anna, and welcome to BBC London.